Remember it? So the Mig Welder. There you go. So you might remember that. So the Mig Welder. So our Mig Welder, I used, it's working. It's definitely working. I welded the that portion of the right side portion of the trailer. So I got to finish it with this machine. Unfortunately, I'm having problems with it. Even though I'm not really good at welding, I'm having problems with it. Like this. So it's making bad splatters like that all around. If you can, yeah, see that? Ugly stuff. So I have to grind them all on the body of the trailer. So it's really not worth the time to grind all of those small itsy bitsy splatters. So I did the research and found out that our polarity for this machine is not right. So this machine basically at first it's a gas, is set up for a gas weld, gas shielding welding. So it's not really assigned or not really adapted to welding flux-cored. So on flux-cored you have to invert polarities. So why polarities? Basically this is a DC welder. In the Philippines we are used to arc welder, that's AC welding, the one that we use the stick. But this one, although this can be converted, I believe, can be converted to a stick welder using a DC. So it's the newer stuff now that they use DC instead of AC, which is, I believe, I think it's based on being compact and all that. Compact, light, easily to handle. That's DC work for you. So DC is direct current. If you look at it carefully, you have your transformer. So I never opened one yet. This is the first time I opened a MIG. I never opened this one. This China MIG of mine, the first one. I did not open it. I thought it was something fancy inside. I had no time. Just it's working. So why open it? So this one I was converting it to a flux. So we are switching polarities. Like I said, what's inside is really funny. It's just like your average power supply, basic power supply, only bigger. So you have your transformer, your AC transformer. So you feed 120 volts, comes out 28, 30 volts or something like that. But you can see there are lots of wires here. So that regulates whatever power you want this to come out. What your power to what power you want it to have going out. So you switch your switches here up front regulates your basically your voltages inside here. So it's like reducing your voltage. Like for example, if its maximum output voltage is 28 volts, if you flip switches here, it'll be 17, it'll be 20, it'll be 25. So it depends. So when you do that, you lower the power of the machine. So for welding thinner stuff. So let's put it that way. So when you're welding thin stuff, you put it at low. Weld thick stuff, put it on high. So like I said, it's really basic. Transformer, your rectifier right here is a full bridge rectifier. If you guys are electronics, you know what I mean. You have diodes here. Diode, 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 diode. The other side will have 4 diodes too. I think this would be the positive diode, and this would be your negative diode. So, you guys know what I'm saying if you studied a little and you learn a little thing about diodes. This is diode. So, AC comes to that, and you'll have your DC output. Cool, huh? So now, you'll have a contactor right. So you'll have an AC contactor hidden right there. Right here. That's an AC contactor. So what is a contactor? It's basically a relay, a big relay. So now they are spliced together. All the terminals are jumped together. That's why this metal strip here. The other side will have a metal strip also, like there. So a contactor inside will have whatever. There are screws there that you put your wires onto if this is used for motor controls and stuff like that. For the purpose of this machine, this particular machine, all the points, it will have different, inside will have fingers contacting one another like that, but they are separate. In this case, they are one because of the terminal, the strips of the strip metal that they placed here. So all the, I think this is a 3-phase, so all 3 poles of this contactor is one. So whatever goes in, it goes out. So they are all combined 3, switching on and off. This is what you'll hear when you're switching the trigger. That's what says that you'll have when you press the trigger, that's what makes a contact, and out comes your power to your electrode, your gun on the MIG. So looking at this, it's somewhat easy, but when I converted it, I flipped it on the polarity side. I flipped it. Unfortunately, it doesn't want to run. So now, even though I press the trigger, it doesn't want to click or whatnot. So I looked at it, and usually, I think it's usually, but not all. So this is the first time I saw one. The first one is this, the lower, this other MIG that I have. So inside this, that's why it's kind of different. Inside this, you will have firstly your trigger wires. So on this, you'll have one trigger wire. That one on the bottom, that MIG on the bottom, has 2 wires. So the trigger has 2 wires. This one has only 1. So that means it's set up for gas, so it's not supposed to do that. But we're still going to do it anyways. So the second one that's inside this, that you remember, you have 1 wire for your trigger. 1 wire, the large wire, is for your power to your electrode. That's the high capacity wire. It's very big, it's very thick, got lots of copper wires in there. So to give a kick for amperes, that's for the tip. That goes there. So both of them go there. The trigger and that. Okay. Second, you will have a hose going from here to there, going down and going to the machine again. Hose. If you can see that. This one. That one. That hose. That white one. Yeah, that one. That's a hose. The hose is used for your inert gas, your gas shielding that goes out of the sides of this center tip here. That's where your wire comes out of. So this cover right here, you'll see holes. See those holes? So that's where your gas comes out and floods this portion here, which is directed by your cup. So when you're welding, so gas will flood your welding wire plus your welding material with inert gas, which is carbon dioxide and argon or something like that. So this is called gas shielding. The reason for that is, like I said before, it's to prevent a bad weld because of contamination of the air we breathe. It's not good for welding, it's not good for metal. So it prevents bubbles and stuff like that. So I think, don't quote me on that, but it's close to that. So anyway, so you have your hose, you have your high power in there. Now, this one, your wire right there is also there. Plus, it also have a, what do you call that? It'll have a guide. Where did it go? Okay, it's missing. Where did the guide go?